The church door swung open with a creak that echoed like a death knell. And there she was, Jamie in a flowing white gown, her smile radiant under the stained glass glow, arm linked with a man who looked achingly familiar. Nola's heart shattered into a million pieces as she realized the groom was her own cousin, Ethan. The one Jamie had sworn was just family. In that frozen moment, the world tilted, and Nola knew the summer fling she'd dismissed as harmless had been the lie that would haunt her forever. Nola had always been the one who played it safe, the reliable architect from Seattle who sketched dreams on paper, but rarely chased them in real life. That summer in Santa Monica changed everything. She'd come to California to escape the rain-soaked drudgery of her office job, crashing at her Aunt Linda's beach house for what was supposed to be a solo recharge. But on the first evening, as the sun dipped into the Pacific like a molten coin, she met Jamie Reyes. Jamie was a whirlwind, vibrant, unapologetic, with eyes like polished obsidian that sparkled under the boardwalk lights. She was visiting from New York, she said, taking a break from her journalism gig to find some damn inspiration. They bumped into each other at a seaside cafe, Nola spilling her iced latte all over Jamie's sundress. Laughter followed, easy and genuine, cutting through the awkwardness like a warm breeze. "I'm such an idiot," Nola muttered, dabbing at the stain with napkins, her cheeks burning. Jamie grinned, waving it off. "Nah, you're a hero. This dress was begging for a coffee bath. Buy me another and we're even." That simple exchange sparked something electric. They spent the night wandering the pier, sharing stories under the Ferris wheel's glow. Jamie talked about her chaotic family back east, her dreams of writing a novel that exposed the hypocrisies of high society. Nola opened up about her stifled creativity, how her designs for sustainable homes felt trapped in corporate bureaucracy. By midnight, as fireworks burst over the ocean, their hands brushed, and Nola felt a pull she hadn't known in years. The days blurred into a haze of stolen moments. Mornings surfing the waves, Jamie's laughter ringing out as she wiped out spectacularly. Afternoons lounging on the sand, sharing earbuds with indie playlists that spoke of longing and freedom. Evenings at hidden coves, where the conversation turned intimate. Jamie's whispers about feeling out of place in her conservative Filipino-American family, Nola confessing her quiet coming out in college that had left her guarded. "You're different," Jamie said one night, as they sat on the beach with a blanket wrapped around them, the stars a canopy above. "You see me, Nola. Not the version everyone expects." Nola's heart raced. "And you make me feel alive. Like I could build something real." Their first kiss happened under a full moon, tentative at first, then deepening with a hunger that surprised them both. It was passionate yet tender, a promise wrapped in salt air. Nola knew it was risky. Summer flings had a way of fading with the tan lines, but Jamie's touch felt like destiny. As weeks passed, the bond intensified. They explored LA together, hiking Runyon Canyon at dawn, sharing vegan tacos in Silver Lake. Jamie introduced Nola to underground poetry slams, where words flowed like therapy. Nola showed Jamie her sketches, dreaming aloud of a life where they could collaborate. Jamie's stories inspiring Nola's designs. But cracks appeared subtly. Jamie's phone buzzed constantly with calls from home, her face clouding over before she silenced it. "Family stuff," she'd say, brushing it off. Nola didn't press. She was too lost in the bliss. One evening, as they watched the sunset from Malibu, Jamie turned serious. "What if this doesn't have to end? What if we make it work?" Nola's breath caught. "You mean long distance? Or more?" "More," Jamie whispered, her fingers tracing Nola's jaw. "I think I'm falling for you." The confession hung heavy, laced with unspoken fears. Nola pulled her close, their hearts sinking in the fading light. But deep down, doubt gnawed. Jamie's family was traditional, and she hadn't mentioned being out. Still, Nola pushed it aside, clinging to the magic. Then came the invitation. Aunt Linda threw a family barbecue, insisting Nola bring her new friend. Jamie hesitated but agreed. That's when Ethan showed up. Nola's cousin from her mother's side, charming and ambitious, fresh from law school in Boston. He and Jamie hit it off immediately, bonding over East Coast roots. Nola watched, a twinge of jealousy stirring, but dismissed it as paranoia. "Ethan's great," Jamie said later as they drove back. Reminds me of home. Nola forced a smile. Yeah, he's family. But you're my something else. The summer peaked with a road trip up the coast to Big Sur. Cliffs plunged into turquoise seas, mirroring the depth of their conversations. Jamie shared her vulnerabilities. Pressure from her parents to settle down, to honor traditions. They want me to marry someone stable, someone who fits the picture. Nola's stomach twisted. And what do you want? You, Jamie said fiercely, pulling over to kiss her. Only you. But the return to Santa Monica brought reality crashing. Jamie's flight home loomed. On their last night, tangled in sheets at the beach house, Jamie cried. Promise we'll fight for this? I promise, Nola whispered, holding her tight. The goodbye at LAX was tearful. Promises exchanged over hurried coffee. See you soon, Jamie said, boarding with a backward glance that seared Nola's soul. Back in Seattle, Nola threw herself into work. But Jamie's texts kept the flame alive. Video calls bridged the miles, plans forming for Jamie to visit. Then the messages slowed. Calls went unanswered. Nola's worry mounted. Finally a call came, not from Jamie but Aunt Linda. Honey, you won't believe it. Ethan's engaged. To that lovely girl you brought to the barbecue, Jamie. The world spun. Nola dropped the phone, betrayal slicing like a knife. How? Why? She replayed every moment, the laughter, the touches. Had it all been a lie? Desperate, she booked a flight to New York, determined to confront the truth. The city greeted her with relentless energy, but her heart was a storm. Tracking Jamie down through social media, she found the engagement announcement. Jamie beaming beside Ethan, caption "Forever starts now." Nola's confrontation happened in a crowded cafe near Central Park. Jamie's eyes widened in shock. Nola, what are you doing here? Explain, Nola demanded, voice trembling. Was I just a game? Jamie's face crumpled. It wasn't like that. Ethan. He's family approved. My parents arranged it years ago. I thought I could break free, but what? You used me. No. Jamie reached out, but Nola recoiled. I love you. But the pressure, it's suffocating. Ethan's your cousin. It complicates everything. Nola laughed bitterly. Complicates? You betrayed us both. Tears streamed down Jamie's cheeks. I didn't know how to tell you. I thought summer was our bubble. The argument escalated, voices rising amid curious stares. Jamie confessed the arranged marriage roots, her fear of disownment. Nola poured out her hurt, the depth of her feelings. They parted in anguish, Nola fleeing to a hotel, sobbing into the night. Days blurred in isolation, questioning everything. Then a knock, Jamie eyes red. I can't do this without you. The hotel room felt like a cage, the New York skyline mocking Nola with its indifferent lights. Jamie stood in the doorway, her usual confidence shattered, replaced by raw vulnerability. Please let me in, she pleaded, voice barely above a whisper. Nola stepped aside, heart pounding. You have 5 minutes. Then I'm gone. Jamie entered, pacing like a trapped animal. I never meant to hurt you. Ethan and I. It's not love. It's obligation. Our families go way back. Filipino ties, American dreams intertwined. My parents see him as the perfect match. Stable, successful male. The word hung heavy, a slap to Nola's identity. And I'm what? The inconvenient secret. Jamie's eyes filled with tears. You're everything I want but can't have. That summer. It was real. The only real thing in my life. Flashbacks assaulted Nola. Jamie's laughter on the beach, her hand in hers during hikes, the way she'd whisper mine in quiet moments. Then why marry him? Fight it. I tried, Jamie said, sinking onto the bed. But disownment means losing everything, my siblings, my heritage. Ethan's kind, he knows about us. He proposed this as a cover. Nola's jaw dropped. A cover? Like a sham marriage. Jamie nodded. To appease families. We could live separately, pursue our own lives. But you. I didn't want to drag you into the mess. Rage boiled in Nola. So you ghosted me? Let me find out from my aunt. I was scared, Jamie admitted. Scared you'd hate me. Scared I'd lose you forever. The confession cracked Nola's armor. She sat beside Jamie, their knees touching. I do hate this. But I love you more. They talked through the night, unraveling layers of deception. Jamie revealed her bisexual identity, hidden from family, the internal war between desire and duty. Nola shared her own fears, of being the other woman, of family fallout. By dawn, a fragile truce formed. Break it off, Nola urged. Choose us. Jamie hesitated. It's not that simple. The wedding's in 3 months. Invites are out. Then I'll help you fight, Nola said, determination igniting. Back in Seattle, Nola dove into research, legal ways to navigate family pressures, support groups for queer Asians. She confided in her best friend, Mia, who offered unwavering support. Love like this? Worth the battle. Jamie visited secretly, weekends stolen in Nola's apartment. Their reunions were intense, filled with whispered plans and lingering touches. But tension simmered, Ethan's calls interrupting, reminding Jamie of the looming date. One weekend, as rain pattered against the windows, Jamie broke down. What if I can't do it? What if I'm too weak? Nola held her. You're the strongest person I know. We'll face it together. But doubt crept in. Nola noticed Jamie's evasive answers about wedding details, her growing distance. Paranoia set in. Was Jamie playing both sides? The turning point came at a family gathering in Boston. Nola attended, ostensibly for her cousin's engagement party, heart in throat. Ethan greeted her warmly, oblivious or complicit. Jamie arrived, stunning in a red dress, eyes locking with Nola's across the room. In a stolen moment in the garden, Jamie pulled her aside. I told Ethan everything. He's okay with backing out, but our parents. Nola's hope soared. Then let's tell them now. Jamie paled. Not yet. Timing's crucial. The party dragged, toasts to the perfect couple twisting the knife. Nola watched Jamie laugh with Ethan, their chemistry forced yet convincing. Jealousy flared. Later in the guest room, Jamie slipped in. I need you, she whispered, their embrace desperate. But morning brought betrayal's sting. Over breakfast, Ethan announced the wedding date moved up. Jamie avoided Nola's gaze. Confrontation exploded in the driveway. What the hell, Jamie? It's complicated, Jamie stammered. Pressure from both sides. Nola's voice cracked. Complicated? Or are you choosing him? Tears fell. I don't know anymore. The drive back to Seattle was agony, silence deafening. Nola replayed the scene, heart fracturing. Was Jamie's love real? Or a fleeting escape? Weeks passed in radio silence. Nola threw herself into work, designing a community center for LGBTQ+ youth, channeling pain into purpose. Mia urged her to move on. She's stringing you along. Then an email from Jamie. Meet me in LA. One last chance. Nola flew down, hope warring with caution. They met at their old cafe, the ocean a bittersweet backdrop. Jamie's eyes were haunted. I called it off. But Ethan. He proposed for real this time. Said he loves me. Nola reeled. And you? I said yes, Jamie whispered. To protect us all. Betrayal hit like a wave. Protect? You're destroying me. Jamie reached for her. It's not what you think. Ethan's covering for me. I'm not ready to come out. Nola pulled away. Lies. All of it. The argument raged, accusations flying. Jamie confessed Ethan's genuine feelings, her confusion. Nola stormed out, vowing to forget. But love lingered. Nola attended therapy, unpacking the trauma. She reconnected with family, subtly gauging reactions to queer topics. Aunt Linda surprised her with acceptance. Meanwhile, Jamie's world unraveled. Family celebrated the union, but her heart ached for Nola. Secret calls to Ethan revealed his understanding. He'd always known about her feelings. I won't force this, Ethan said. But think of the fallout. Jamie agonized, torn between worlds. The wedding approached, invitations arriving like daggers. Nola debated attending, Mia advising against. Don't torture yourself. But closure beckoned. She RSVP'd yes, stealing her nerves. The church in upstate New York was picturesque, guests buzzing. Nola sat in the back, pulse racing. As the music swelled, Jamie appeared, beautiful but eyes distant. Ethan waited, smiling kindly. Vows began, but Jamie faltered. I can't. Gasps echoed. Jamie turned to the crowd. I'm in love with someone else. A woman. Nola. Spotlight on Nola, world freezing. Jamie rushed down the aisle, tears streaming. Forgive me. Chaos ensued. Family outrage, whispers. But Ethan stepped forward. Let her go. She deserves happiness. Nola stood, heart exploding. I do. They fled together, hand in hand, into the unknown. The escape from the church was a blur of adrenaline and disbelief. Jamie's gown billowed like a sail as they dashed through the parking lot. Ethan's voice calling after them. Not in anger but encouragement. Go. I'll handle this. Nola's rental car roared to life, tires screeching as they peeled away from the stunned guests. In the rearview mirror, Nola saw her aunt's shocked face, but there was no turning back. Where to? Nola gasped, gripping the wheel, her knuckles white. Anywhere but here, Jamie replied, laughing through tears, the sound manic and freeing. Just drive. They headed south, toward the city, the Hudson River glinting in the afternoon sun. Jamie changed in the backseat, swapping the gown for jeans and a hoodie from Nola's suitcase. I feel like a fugitive, she said, climbing up front. You are, Nola teased, but her voice trembled. What just happened? Jamie took a deep breath. I couldn't say those vows. Every word felt like a chain. When I saw you in the back, it hit me. You're my truth. Nola's eyes misted. And Ethan? He's okay. We talked last night. He knew my heart wasn't in it. Turns out he's been questioning things too. His own path. Relief washed over Nola, mingled with lingering hurt. You almost went through with it. Jamie nodded solemnly. Fear's a bastard. But love one. They checked into a nondescript motel outside Albany, collapsing in exhaustion. That night, over cheap pizza and warm beer, they rebuilt. Jamie shared the family backlash she'd anticipated. Her parents' calls already blowing up her phone, voicemails laced with disappointment and anger. I'm cut off, Jamie said quietly. No more trust fund, no more safety net. Nola squeezed her hand. We'll build our own. The next days were a whirlwind. They drove cross-country, retracing their summer route in reverse, from New York to California. Stops in Chicago where they wandered Millennium Park, reflecting on fresh starts. Denver's mountains where hikes cleared their minds. Each mile mended wounds, conversations delving deeper. In Salt Lake City, Jamie came out to her siblings via video call. Mixed reactions, her brother supportive, sister hesitant. It hurts, Jamie admitted afterward, curling into Nola. But it's honest. Nola faced her own demons. Calling Aunt Linda, explaining the chaos. Ethan's your cousin, but Jamie's my everything. Linda sighed. I suspected. Families are complicated, kiddo. But love's love. Ethan reached out too via text. No hard feelings. Be happy. The journey culminated in Santa Monica. Full circle. Standing on the pier where it began, Jamie turned to Nola. Marry me? For real this time? Nola's heart soared. Yes. 1,000 times yes. But reality intruded. Back in Seattle, they navigated logistics. Jamie's move west, job hunts. Jamie freelanced articles on queer identity, her voice finding strength. Nola's designs flourished, incorporating Jamie's input. Yet shadows lingered. Jamie's parents disowned her formally, a letter arriving like a ghost. You're dead to us, it read. The pain hit hard. Jamie spiraled, nights of tears and doubt. Was it worth it? Nola held her through it. Look at us. We're building something beautiful. Therapy helped, couple sessions unpacking trauma. They volunteered at LGBTQ+ centers, turning pain into purpose. A year later, their wedding was intimate. Beachside in Malibu, close friends and accepting family. Ethan attended, toasting them warmly. To the ones who got away together. Vows exchanged under the sun, rings symbolizing resilience. In betrayal we found truth, Jamie said. In love we found home, Nola replied. Life settled into rhythm. Jamie's novel sold, a semi-autobiographical tale of forbidden love. Nola's firm promoted her, projects blooming. But drama resurfaced. Jamie's mother called, voice broken. I miss my daughter. Reconciliation tentative, bridges mending slowly. Family dinners awkward but healing. Through it all their bond deepened, flawed, human, unbreakable. Let's add more depth. The escape from the church was a blur of adrenaline and disbelief. Jamie's gown billowed like a sail as they dashed through the parking lot. Ethan's voice calling after them. Not in anger but encouragement. Go. I'll handle this. Nola's rental car roared to life, tires screeching as they peeled away from the stunned guests. In the rearview mirror, Nola saw her aunt's shocked face, but there was no turning back. Where to? Nola gasped, gripping the wheel, her knuckles white. Anywhere but here, Jamie replied, laughing through tears, the sound manic and freeing. Just drive. They headed south, toward the city, the Hudson River glinting in the afternoon sun. Jamie changed in the backseat, swapping the gown for jeans and a hoodie from Nola's suitcase. I feel like a fugitive, she said, climbing up front. You are, Nola teased, but her voice trembled. What just happened? Jamie took a deep breath. I couldn't say those vows. Every word felt like a chain. When I saw you in the back, it hit me. You're my truth. Nola's eyes misted. And Ethan? He's okay. We talked last night. He knew my heart wasn't in it. Turns out he's been questioning things too. His own path. Maybe even his orientation. He's confiding in friends now. Relief washed over Nola, mingled with lingering hurt. You almost went through with it. Jamie nodded solemnly. Fear's a bastard. But love one. They checked into a nondescript motel outside Albany, collapsing in exhaustion. That night, over cheap pizza and warm beer, they rebuilt. Jamie shared the family backlash she'd anticipated. Her parents' calls already blowing up her phone, voicemails laced with disappointment and anger. I'm cut off, Jamie said quietly. No more trust fund, no more safety net. Nola squeezed her hand. We'll build our own. I have savings and my job stable. We'll make it. The next days were a whirlwind. They drove cross-country, retracing their summer route in reverse, from New York to California. Stops in Chicago where they wandered Millennium Park, reflecting on fresh starts. In the bean sculpture, their distorted reflections laughed back, symbolizing the twists of fate. Remember our first kiss? Jamie asked, leaning in. How could I forget? Nola replied, stealing a peck. Denver's mountains provided solace, hikes clearing their minds. At the peak of a trail, Jamie shouted into the void, releasing pent-up frustration. I'm free. Nola joined, their echoes mingling. Each mile mended wounds, conversations delving deeper into childhood's dreams, fears. Jamie spoke of her immigrant parents' sacrifices, the weight of expectations. Nola shared her father's abandonment, how it made her cautious in love. In Salt Lake City, Jamie came out to her siblings via video call. Her brother Marco smiled. About time, sis. I love you. Her sister Lena hesitated. Give me time. But I'm here. It hurts, Jamie admitted afterward, curling into Nola. But it's honest. Lena's always been the traditional one. Nola stroked her hair. Progress is progress. Nola faced her own demons, calling Aunt Linda, explaining the chaos. Ethan's your cousin, but Jamie's my everything. Please understand. Linda sighed. I suspected something at the barbecue. Families are complicated, kiddo. But love's love. Bring her for Thanksgiving. Tears of gratitude flowed. We will. Ethan reached out too via text. No hard feelings. Be happy. P.S. Thanks for shaking things up. I needed it. The journey culminated in Santa Monica. Full circle. Standing on the pier where it began, Jamie turned to Nola under the Ferris wheel lights. Marry me? For real this time. No secrets, no pressure. Nola's heart soared, kneeling instinctively. Yes. 1,000 times yes. But reality intruded upon arrival in Seattle. They navigated logistics, Jamie's move west, unpacking boxes in Nola's cozy apartment. Jamie freelanced articles on queer identity in immigrant communities, her voice finding strength in vulnerability. Nola's designs flourished, incorporating Jamie's narrative input for more inclusive spaces. Yet shadows lingered. Jamie's parents disowned her formally, a letter arriving like a ghost from the past. "You're dead to us until you repent," it read, signed with cold formality. The pain hit hard. Jamie spiraled, nights of tears and doubt. Was it worth it? Losing my roots for this? Nola held her through the storms. "Look at us. We're planting new roots. And your roots aren't gone, they're evolving." Therapy helped, couple sessions unpacking the trauma of betrayal and cultural clash. They volunteered at LGBTQ+ centers in Seattle, turning personal pain into communal purpose, mentoring young queer folks navigating similar paths. A year later, their wedding was intimate, beachside in Malibu, with close friends and accepting family members. Ethan attended, toasting them warmly. "To the ones who got away together. You two showed me what real courage looks like." Vows exchanged under the golden sun, rings symbolizing resilience. "In betrayal we found truth," Jamie said, voice steady. "In love we found home," Nola replied, sealing it with a kiss. Life settled into a rhythm of quiet triumphs. Jamie's novel sold to a major publisher, a semi-autobiographical tale of forbidden love and cultural reckoning that resonated with readers nationwide. Nola's firm promoted her to lead designer. Her projects for sustainable, inclusive housing winning awards. But drama resurfaced in subtle ways. Jamie's mother called one evening, voice broken after months of silence. "I miss my daughter. Can we talk?" Reconciliation was tentative, starting with awkward Zoom calls, apologies laced with cultural misunderstandings. "I was scared for you," her mother admitted. "The world is harsh." "And hiding made it harsher," Jamie replied gently. Bridges mended slowly, family dinners in New York becoming less tense, more understanding. Nola's presence was accepted, then embraced. Through it all their bond deepened, flawed, human, unbreakable. They adopted a rescue dog, named it Summer, a nod to their beginnings. Evenings on the balcony, watching the Puget Sound, they reflected on the journey. "We survived the storm," Jamie said one night, head on Nola's shoulder. "And emerged stronger," Nola whispered. Their story became a beacon, shared in interviews and panels, inspiring others to choose authenticity over expectation. Years rolled by like waves on the shore, each bringing new depths to Nola and Jamie's life together. Seattle became their sanctuary, the apartment evolving into a home filled with art, books, and memories. Jamie's career soared. Her novel hit bestseller lists, spawning a series exploring queer narratives in America. She traveled for book tours, but always returned with stories to share, her eyes lighting up as she described fan encounters. "Today, a young girl told me my book gave her courage to come out," Jamie said one evening, unpacking souvenirs. Nola beamed from the kitchen, stirring pasta. "You're changing lives, love." But success brought challenges. Jamie's visibility drew trolls, online hate spewing vitriol about her betrayal of family values. One particularly vicious article dug up the wedding fiasco, painting her as a homewrecker. "It hurts," Jamie confessed, scrolling through comments. "Like reopening scars." Nola pulled her close. "Their noise. We're the signal." To counter, they started a podcast, Hearts Unbound, discussing love, identity, and resilience. Guests included Ethan, now openly bisexual and advocating for LGBTQ+ rights in law. "Without you two, I'd still be in the closet," he shared on air. Family ties strengthened. Jamie's parents visited annually, conversations shifting from tension to warmth. Her mother even attended a pride parade, waving a tiny flag. "For my daughter," she said shyly. Nola's career thrived too. She founded her own firm, Thompson Designs, specializing in eco-friendly homes for diverse communities. A major project, a queer-friendly housing complex in Portland, earned national acclaim. Amid the bustle, they faced personal trials. Jamie's health scare, a benign tumor, tested their vows. Nights in hospitals, Nola sleeping in chairs, holding hands through fear. "I'm scared," Jamie whispered during recovery. "We've beaten worse," Nola replied, fierce protectiveness shining. The experience deepened their intimacy, reminding them of fragility. They renewed vows on their 5th anniversary, a quiet ceremony in Big Sur, cliffs witnessing their enduring promise. But old wounds resurfaced when Ethan announced his engagement to a man. Family reactions mixed, echoing Jamie's past. History repeating, Jamie mused. They supported him, attending the wedding as honored guests. Seeing Ethan happy healed residual guilt. As time passed, thoughts turned to family. Adoption discussions arose, weighing options. Ready for this? Nola asked, browsing profiles. With you? Always, Jamie said. They welcomed Mia, a spirited toddler from foster care, into their home. Chaos ensued. Sleepless nights, first steps, laughter-filling rooms. She's our miracle, Jamie said, watching Mia play. Parenthood brought joy and strain. Balancing careers, they leaned on community, playdates with other queer families, support networks. One evening over dinner, Mia asked innocently, "How did you meet?" Jamie glanced at Nola, smiling. It started with a summer fling. They shared the sanitized version, emphasizing love's triumph. But privately, they reflected on the full saga. The betrayal, the drama, the redemption. Would you change anything? Nola asked one night, stargazing. Jamie shook her head. It made us who we are. Their story inspired a film adaptation of Jamie's book, with them consulting. Premiering in LA, they walked the red carpet hand in hand, flashes capturing their glow. Interviews probed. What's the secret to your love? Honesty, Jamie said. And fighting for it. Back home, life hummed with purpose. Jamie mentored young writers, Nola taught design workshops. Mia grew, proud of her moms. Yet life threw curves. Jamie's father passed suddenly, pulling her back east. Funeral tensions arose, old resentments bubbling. You're welcome here, her mother insisted, embracing Nola. Healing came in shared grief, family uniting. Through it all, their love remained the anchor. Passionate, resilient, human. Years rolled by like waves on the shore, each bringing new depths to Nola and Jamie's life together. Seattle became their sanctuary, the apartment evolving into a cozy home filled with vibrant art from local queer artists, shelves overflowing with books on identity and history, and framed photos capturing their journey. From that first Santa Monica sunset to their Malibu wedding, Jamie's career soared beyond expectations. Her novel not only hit bestseller lists but spawned a series, each volume delving deeper into queer narratives woven with American cultural threads. She traveled for book tours across the country, from bustling New York signings to intimate readings in small-town libraries, but she always returned with stories to share, her eyes lighting up as she described fan encounters that touched her soul. Today, a young girl in Texas told me my book gave her the courage to come out to her parents, Jamie said one evening, unpacking souvenirs from her latest trip. A rainbow keychain, a signed fan letter. Nola beamed from the kitchen, stirring a pot of homemade marinara, the aroma filling the air. You're changing lives, love. One story at a time. But success brought its own set of challenges. Jamie's growing visibility drew inevitable trolls, with online hate spewing vitriol about her betrayal of traditional family values. One particularly vicious article from a conservative outlet dug up the long-buried wedding fiasco, painting her as a reckless homewrecker who shattered lives. It hurts more than I thought it would, Jamie confessed one night, scrolling through the comments on her phone, her face illuminated by the harsh screen glow, like reopening scars that never fully healed. Nola set aside her sketchpad, crossing the room to wrap her arms around Jamie. They're just noise in the wind. We're the signal, the real living proof that love wins. Block them and let's focus on the good. To counter the negativity, they launched a podcast together, Hearts Unbound, a weekly show discussing love, identity, cultural clashes, and resilience in the face of adversity. Guests ranged from activists to everyday folks, including Ethan, who joined for a heartfelt episode. Now openly bisexual and using his law degree to advocate for LGBTQ+ rights and policy reform, he shared his own evolution. Without you two blowing up my fake wedding, Ethan joked on air, I'd still be hiding in the closet pretending to fit the mold. You showed me what real courage looks like. The episode went viral, drawing messages of support and sparking conversations nationwide. Family ties strengthened over time, transforming from fragile threads to sturdy bonds. Jamie's parents began visiting annually, their initial awkwardness giving way to genuine warmth. Her mother even attended a Seattle Pride parade one June, waving a tiny rainbow flag with tentative enthusiasm. "For my daughter and her family," she said shyly, hugging Mia afterward. Nola's career thrived in parallel. She founded her own firm, Thompson Designs, specializing in eco-friendly, inclusive homes for diverse communities. A major project, a queer-friendly affordable housing complex in Portland, earned national acclaim, featured in architectural magazines for its innovative blend of sustainability and social justice. Amid the professional bustle, they faced personal trials that tested the very foundation of their vows. Jamie's health scare came unexpectedly. A benign tumor discovered during a routine checkup, requiring surgery and weeks of recovery. Those nights in the hospital were agonizing, with Nola sleeping in uncomfortable chairs, holding Jamie's hand through the fear and uncertainty. "I'm scared I won't make it," Jamie whispered one pre-dawn hour, for lines snaking across her arm. Nola's voice was fierce, laced with unshed tears. "We've beaten worse storms than this. You're my fighter, Jamie. We'll get through it, one breath at a time." The experience deepened their intimacy, a stark reminder of life's fragility. They emerged stronger, with Jamie's recovery inspiring her next book, a memoir-infused novel about vulnerability and partnership. To celebrate, they renewed their vows on their 5th anniversary, a quiet ceremony in Big Sur, the dramatic cliffs and crashing waves witnessing their enduring promise. Through sickness and health, betrayal and bliss, Jamie vowed. "Forever yours," Nola echoed. But old wounds could still resurface unexpectedly. When Ethan announced his engagement, to a kind-hearted man named Carlos, the news stirred echoes of their past drama. Family reactions were mixed, with some relatives supportive and others hesitant, mirroring Jamie's own coming-out journey. History repeating itself, Jamie mused over coffee, reading Ethan's excited text. They flew east to support him, attending the wedding as honored guests. Seeing Ethan radiant and authentic healed any residual guilt Jamie carried. "You deserve this," she told him, hugging tight. As the years progressed, thoughts naturally turned to expanding their family. Adoption discussions arose organically, weighing the emotional and logistical options with care. "Are we ready for this chaos?" Nola asked one evening, browsing agency profiles on her laptop. "With you by my side." "Always," Jamie replied, her hand on Nola's knee. "Let's do it." After months of paperwork and home visits, they welcomed Mia, a spirited 2-year-old from the foster system, into their home. Chaos ensued in the best way. Sleepless nights soothed by lullabies, first steps cheered with applause, laughter filling every room as Mia discovered the world. "She's our little miracle," Jamie said softly, watching Mia play with blocks, building towers that inevitably toppled. Parenthood brought unparalleled joy and inevitable strain. Balancing demanding careers, they leaned on their community, playdates with other queer families in the neighborhood, support networks from the LGBTQ+ center where they still volunteered. One evening, over a family dinner of spaghetti and stories, Mia looked up with wide eyes and asked innocently, "Mommies, how did you meet?" Jamie glanced at Nola, a knowing smile passing between them. "It started with a summer fling on a sunny beach," Jamie began, weaving the sanitized version that emphasized love's triumph over obstacles, leaving out the heart-wrenching details for when Mia was older. But privately, in quiet moments after Mia's bedtime, they reflected on the full saga. The initial betrayal, the high-stakes drama, the hard-won redemption that shaped their lives. "Would you change anything if you could?" Nola asked one starlit night, wrapped in a blanket on the balcony. Jamie shook her head, leaning into her. "Not a single moment. It all made us who we are, stronger, wiser, more in love." Their story became a beacon for others, shared in interviews, TED-style talks, and community panels. When a film adaptation of Jamie's first book premiered in LA, they walked the red carpet hand in hand, camera flashes capturing their effortless glow. Reporters probed, "What's the secret to your enduring love after such a rocky start?" "Honesty," Jamie said with conviction, "and never stopping the fight for it, even when it hurts." Back in Seattle, life hummed with purpose and contentment. Jamie mentored young writers at local workshops. Nola taught design classes at the university. Mia grew into a curious kindergartner, proud of her two moms and their epic love story. Yet life continued to throw its curves. Jamie's father passed suddenly from a heart attack, pulling her back east for the funeral. Tensions arose amid the grief, old resentments from relatives bubbling to the surface, questioning her choices. But her mother stood firm. "You're welcome here with your family," she insisted, embracing Nola and Mia at the service. Healing came in shared grief, the family uniting in ways they hadn't before. Stories of Jamie's father were exchanged, laughter mixing with tears, forging new connections. Through every trial and triumph, their love remained the steadfast anchor. Passionate, resilient, profoundly human. It was a testament to the power of forgiveness, the beauty of authenticity, and the enduring spirit of two souls who chose each other against all odds. As Mia entered her teens, the household buzzed with new energy. Hormones, homework, and heartfelt talks. Nola and Jamie navigated parenthood with grace, drawing from their own tumultuous past to guide her. "Love isn't always easy," Jamie told Mia during a late-night chat about her first crush. "But it's worth the risk." Mia's response warmed them. "Like you and Mom? Your story's my favorite." The family expanded subtly. A second adoption, a boy named Luca, bringing sibling dynamics and double joy. Weekends filled with soccer games, art classes, the home a haven of chaos and love. Professionally, they soared. Jamie's series adapted to TV, her as executive producer. Nola's firm expanded nationally, designing spaces that fostered community. But age brought reflection. On their 20th anniversary, they revisited Santa Monica. Standing on the pier, gray streaks in hair, they held hands. "From fling to forever," Nola murmured. Jamie kissed her. "Best decision I ever made running to you." Family fully reconciled. Holidays blended traditions. Ethan's family joined, generations mingling. In quiet moments they pondered legacy. "We showed it's possible," Jamie said. Their story, now legendary in circles, inspired countless. A foundation in their name supported queer youth. As sun set on their lives, love endured. A beacon of hope, humanity, romance. As Mia entered her turbulent teens, the household buzzed with a fresh wave of energy. Raging hormones, endless homework battles, and those heartfelt, sometimes tearful talks that defined growing up. Nola and Jamie navigated this new phase of parenthood with the wisdom gleaned from their own tumultuous past, using it as a compass to guide their daughter through the storms of adolescence. "Love isn't always a fairy tale, kiddo," Jamie told Mia one rainy evening. As they sat on the living room couch with mugs of hot cocoa, Mia had just confided about her first crush, a girl in her class, and the confusion it stirred. "It can be messy, full of twists, but if it's real, it's worth every risk." Mia's eyes sparkled with curiosity. "Like you and Mom? Your story's my favorite, the beach, the drama, the happy ending." Nola, overhearing from the kitchen, joined them with a smile. "Happy middles too. It's ongoing." The family expanded in beautiful ways. After much deliberation, they pursued a second adoption, welcoming Luca, an energetic 5-year-old boy with an infectious grin and boundless curiosity. Sibling dynamics added layers of joy and occasional squabbles, but the home became a true haven of organized chaos, filled with laughter, board games, and impromptu dance parties in the kitchen. Weekends transformed into whirlwinds of activity. Mia's soccer games where Jamie cheered loudest, Luca's art classes where Nola helped with sketches, family hikes in the Olympic Mountains that echoed their early adventures. Through it all, they instilled values of empathy, resilience, and authenticity. Professionally, Nola and Jamie continued to soar, their partnership fueling mutual success. Jamie's book series was adapted into a hit TV show, with her serving as executive producer, ensuring the narrative stayed true to lived experiences. She balanced set visits in LA with home life, often bringing back scripts for Nola's input. "Your eye for detail makes everything better," Jamie said, revising scenes late at night. Nola's firm, Thompson Designs, expanded nationally, with branches in New York and LA. She specialized in creating spaces that fostered community and inclusion, like a network of youth centers for at-risk LGBTQ+ kids. Awards piled up, but the real reward was seeing lives changed. A teen finding safety in a building she designed. Amid the achievements, Age brought inevitable reflections and challenges. Health checkups became routine, small aches reminders of time's march. On their 20th anniversary, they revisited Santa Monica, the beach where it all began. Standing on the pier, now with subtle gray streaks in their hair and lines etched from years of laughter and tears, they held hands as the sun dipped low. "From a fleeting summer fling to this forever," Nola murmured, her voice thick with emotion. Jamie leaned in, kissing her softly. "The best decision I ever made. Running down that aisle to you. No regrets." The trip sparked nostalgia, leading to a memoir co-written by both, Isle of Betrayal, Our Path to Love. It became a bestseller, raw and honest, detailing the pain, the passion, the perseverance. Family had fully reconciled by then. Holidays a beautiful blend of traditions. Filipino feasts mixed with American barbecues, queer pride flags alongside family photos. Ethan's family joined often, his kids playing with Mia and Luca, generations mingling in harmony. "You two paved the way," Ethan said at one gathering, raising a glass. "For all of us." In quieter moments, Nola and Jamie pondered their legacy. "We didn't just survive the drama," Jamie reflected one evening, watching the kids play in the yard. "We turned it into something meaningful. Showed the world that love like ours is possible, even when it's hard." To cement that, they established the Reyes Thompson Foundation, supporting queer youth from immigrant backgrounds with scholarships, counseling, and safe spaces. Launch events drew crowds, stories shared of lives transformed. As the sun set on their active years, retirement loomed gently. They downsized to a coastal cottage in Oregon, waves lulling them to sleep. Mia, now in college studying journalism, called often. "Inspired by you, Mom," she said. Luca, artistic like Nola, pursued design. "Thanks for showing me strength." Even in twilight, their love burned bright. Walks on the beach, shared books, tender glances. Drama of youth faded, replaced by profound peace. One final chapter. Jamie's health declined slowly, a chronic condition managed with care. Nola by her side, every day a gift. "I love you," Jamie whispered in her last days. "Through every storm." "And beyond," Nola replied, holding on. Jamie's passing left a void, but her spirit lived in memories, the foundation, their children. Nola carried on, writing, advocating until joining her. Their story, etched in hearts, remained a beacon of kitsch-tin drama, deep emotion, romance, and human triumph. A testament that from betrayal's ashes, love can rise eternal.